24, the 67th Coupe Aéronautique Gordon Bennett from here in Munster in Germany. I'm Regan Tetlow and I'm joined by my good friend Thomas Hoare. How are you, Thomas?
Good afternoon, Regan. Yeah, I'm excited. Finally, action is going to happen.
Tell everybody what your role is this year, what your job is.
Well, before I tell that, I would like to make a shout out to Hungary. In Hungary, we have a new world champion and for hot air ballooning. The new world champion for hot air ballooning is Clément Sejean from France. He's flying a Coupe racer, which he partly self-developed. So congratulations to Hungary.
Yeah, we just saw a video with Eric Desilliers. He had a video on his phone of Clément celebrating right now. So big celebrations for our sister sport, hot air ballooning down there in Hungary. But back to the gas ballooning. You're the big boss this week.
Well, I wouldn't call it a big boss. I'm a little bit, coordinating everything. So, yes, taking the decisions, but the big bosses are up in the air.
Now, you've had some big decisions to make as well. You should have been launching this evening. Tell me about the process. What happened?
Well, this evening, there was the launch window opening. And you're looking into the weather, and we continuously looked at the weather. It looked like we could have launched tonight, but suddenly the weather predictions worsened. And it came through. There came a shower front through. There was a lot of gusty winds. If we would have had balloons up here, they probably wouldn't have standed because even fences were turned over. So we are happy that we have postponed to tomorrow, where tomorrow we are prognosed to have beautiful conditions, sunshine, much lighter winds. So I'm happy to have it postponed.
And what times are we looking at for tomorrow for inflation and launch? Have we got any times that we're thinking of at the moment?
Yes, I think that the balloons will come on the field at about 1 o'clock, starting to prepare everything. At 3 o'clock, we will have the balloons starting to inflate with hydrogen. So hydrogen will be flowing from 3 o'clock. This will go through at least 7 o'clock, and I'm looking at a launch at around 8 o'clock, if weather permits.
Brilliant. We've got a big party fiesta happening right here on the site tonight. There's going to be live bands on the stage. There's a DJ warming up right now. They've all the food stalls. It's got a good party atmosphere happening right now.
Yeah, it's a really great atmosphere. So when you're around here, come here. It's really great. Even tonight, if the balloons are not launching, but tomorrow, I don't even want to imagine what will happen tomorrow. This will be packed and it will be great. And I have to say the organization around Sebastian Eimers made a fantastic job to make it worthy here to come.
Well, a little bit earlier, we caught up with one of our teams, Great Britain won, our all-female team with Anne and Deborah. Let's have a listen to what they said. All right, I'm here with Team Great Britain.
Hey!
Deborah Scholes and Anne Rich. Very good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
It's very special indeed, this team. Not only because you're British, which I am, but an all-female team. Tell me about that.
Well, I did the Gordon Bennett last year. Been learning to fly. Anne's been flying a lot longer than I have, but we're joining up, and this is one for the ladies.
Excellent. We're really proud of what you're doing. We were trying to think how many female teams, all female teams, there's been previously in Gordon Bennett. Do you know that? Are you aware of that?
Yes, I think Anne can tell you more about that.
Yeah, very few. There aren't very many gas pilots, and even less female gas pilots. I've flown in a female team twice before, quite a number of years ago now. And I'm not sure that there were any others before that. There might have been one.
I think the Australians, I'm pretty sure Bern had, or one of the previous recent events had an Australian ladies team.
Well, let's get back to basics a little bit. What is this event? It's a long distance gas balloon flight. People always ask me, what's gas ballooning? What do they do? Well, basically, we're going to take off from this field, go as far as possible to the landing point, measure from there, and you have a chase crew. You have a crew in the cars that come and follow you. Who've we got? Who's chasing?
So the chase crew is John Rose and Andy and Glenn and my husband Mike Scholes.
We've got a pretty fancy chase vehicle here behind us. This has been donated by Jaguar Land Rover, hasn't it, for the event?
That's right. So Jaguar Land Rover are having a year of amazing women and supporting amazing women. So they clearly thought we were amazing and have lent us this beautiful Defender for our retrieve crew. Unfortunately, they get to drive it and we don't, but we'll be very happy when they pick us up.
Can we have a look inside the basket? Can you talk us a little bit about what's going on in here? So where do you want to start? Tell me what we've got in here.
So bench, sleep underneath. There's a curtain just here to just so that it's more separated. All the electronics are here. Oxygen goes here. Food packs. Everything, literally everything, is outside the basket. So we will have this room to move around in. So it's not that small a space. As long as you get on, it's fine, isn't it, Anne? Which we do.
We have to stay friendly, and then we'll survive. Yes, but it's a compact home for 4 or 5 days.
It's incredible when you actually think about what's going on here. The pilots are living inside this space. You know, imagine that your most luxurious room you've got in your house, maybe one of the back offices or something like that, and somebody, you know, with all the comforts, the coffee machine, your best chair, and somebody said, go and stand in that room and stay there for 4 days. I mean, that would be a challenge on its own, never mind being in the sky in this.
Absolutely, yeah. It's you're always quite busy. You're always quite busy, and if you're not busy, you're usually sleeping. So, as well, not everybody knows, but with a gas balloon, it will find its wave, and you can go on for hours, days. But that doesn't often happen. There is usually something to do all the time: air traffic, a little bit of sand out at night. If the weather, if you're at altitude, your oxygen, you're keeping an eye on everything. It's quite intense. It's quite intense.
What about temperature extremes from minimum to maximum? What would you expect?
That depends a little bit how high we go. The higher up you go, the colder it gets. And it can be a bit strange when you're at altitude, if it's a beautiful sunny day, because you've got really strong sunshine on this bit of you and sort of above the basket, and it's like, oh, and then your feet are blocks of ice because it's actually really cold in the air.
The coldest I've been in air sports is skydiving in the UK in the winter, and we're getting out of the plane at minus 25 degrees centigrade. But that's only for a fraction of a second you're there, and with the right thermals you don't really notice it. But prolonged exposure to minus.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, at 10,000 feet, it can be minus 25 quite easily. Yeah.
And what about heat? With the sun out, you can get some quite intense heat, right?
It is quite intense, yes. So we've got sunshades, so we will put those up during the day to stop us getting too hot and sunburned. And we've also got rain shades in case we get the opposite and it starts to rain on us, because we don't want our basket filling up with water. That would be a little bit uncomfortable.
So the question everybody always wants to know, your private stuff. What have we got down here? Little bucket. And plenty of toilet roll.
Yeah. And a few, biodegradable wet wipe sacks, and that's it, folks.
Yeah, it is really getting back to basics. What about for food? What are you doing for food?
Food packs. We've chosen food packs. So it's dried food, and we have a jet boil. So we boil the water, do the pack, leave it 10 minutes, and then enjoy.
Yummy.
So
what have you got left to do? Are you all set, or have you still got some work to do?
So the basket over the last 6 weeks has been set up by my husband Mike, based on Anne and I's 2 or 3 flights that we did together. What worked, what didn't work, he's basically set it up. What we're actually doing now is because and we live in different ends of the country, so why we've actually got the basket out is just for Anne to jump in and just have a look where everything is and familiarise herself, and because it's just come straight out here. And yeah.
How is the gas balloon scene in the UK? I know there's a few teams around, right?
Yeah, the problem is that it's quite difficult to get the actual gas to start with, so filling a balloon is not straightforward there. So actually the gas pilots in the UK tend to come and travel over to Germany or to France or Switzerland, where it's easier to get the gas to fly. So hence, we're not very often together with the basket.
Well, we're very proud of you. I'm sure everybody back home is very proud as well.
Thank you.
We can't wait to follow your adventure. And you remember, you can check it all out. Keep following all the tracking on all our channels. And we want to thank everybody. Go on. Thank everybody.
Thank everyone for their support, whatever part you played or play. Thank you.
Absolutely. Everybody, it's a massive team. I mean, we're just the ones silly enough to sit in the basket, but it takes a massive team to get everybody in the air and to bring us back safely. So thanks, everyone.
Best wishes, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to catch up with the team there, Thomas, all-female team
It's great. I wish there would be more female teams. I would encourage all ladies watching now, make your pilot license, gain some experience, make your gas license, and come here and compete. It would be great.
Yeah, it's incredible that they've actually got that together as well after all these years. And can you think of other female teams in the past?
I don't know about many, but I know at least about one, which was the USA team. I think Leslie Pritchard and Carol Raymond Davis was flying together in a team, but I'm not sure about any other teams.
Yeah. Well, we also caught up with the team from Spain with Spain 1. Let's catch up with what they had to say. So I'm joined by Spain 1. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves to the people at home.
My name is Angel Aguirre.
Anulfo González. We are the team Spain for already the 9th Gordon Bennett.
Yeah, 9 years now. Bienvenido aquí en Gordon Bennett TV. Muchas gracias. So,
Welcome.
we were looking at some of the predictions, and it's showing possible predictions down to Spain. Tell me a bit about this.
Yeah, that I think it's more than positive. Not on top of coming to our home country. Is that it's going to be, if we finally go to Spain and it doesn't reach again to the Mediterranean, it's going to be a much safer and more relaxing flight for each one of us, because the weather situation was like kind of tricky, not making very clear to Sicily or even Greece, but more closer to Africa. So it really changed for the better. I think all the teams are quite relieved. And I think also the extra day we had for launch, we was supposed to be today, and then it was postponed for Saturday. I think it was very positive for all of us to relax and think a little bit more on the race.
And you have your team, your support team. Tell me about where the support team is.
Well, we have a support team on the ground, which is here. Like we are a total of 6 people. There's 2 of us plus 4 others who will be driving and following the balloon, hopefully to Spain. And then we have 2 meteorologists in Belgium, because we're sharing the weather team with Philippe de Kock and Herb Pressman. And then we have also an ATC team who is supporting to open the airspaces we will need to follow.
What is the track? I've not seen it yet, the one to Spain. Where is it going? What kind of direction in Spain? Where?
It's too soon. It's
Yeah.
too soon. Really too soon. I mean, not any team wants to explain the strategy, but in our case and nowadays, and how changing is the situation, it's really too soon. We are waiting for even this afternoon. I think we will have more information about it, and even at least myself, I don't want to see one track direction now, because it's too soon, and then you mentalize for one thing, and then when change, it's a little bit of mess on your brain. So I prefer to wait. But in general, as you said, is Mediterranean. That's nearly for sure. So going south, and then we'll see.
Very exciting. So now 9 Gordon Bennetts between you. Do any stand out as being very memorable more than others?
Well, no, probably the ones we went to the Mediterranean. We went 2 times. One we landed in southern Italy, and another one we landed in Sardinia. And they were quite exciting, because we always have the aim of making it a safe but interesting flight. And on top of that, obviously the result is important. But for us, I think the Gordon Bennett gives you the opportunity of making flights that you wouldn't do by yourself, because you have better support. Obviously, you have more motivation, but you will do something that probably you won't do on your own.
How is the awareness in Spain with the media, with gas ballooning? We are a very niche sport, of course. Hot air ballooning is very big in Spain, but is there an awareness of gas ballooning, of what you're doing? Do you have media attention?
Of course, not enough. Of course, we are minority modality into aerostatics. It's minority, so gas balloon even less. No, and in Spain it's difficult. In Spain, but in hot air we are trying to improve a little bit, and we'll do our best sharing, and with the social media now it's improving. So step by step, our objective is that more people in Spain will involve in gas, and we are sure that it will, but it's not easy in Spain.
Good. Well, gentlemen, muchas gracias.
You're welcome.
Good flights. Bon voyage.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much indeed.
We'll see you.
All right, so Spain, Thomas there, some good information from them.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm quite convinced they know exactly where they want to fly to, but they are not sharing it.
They know every single town and village they'll be passing, right?
Obviously, they have their strategy worked out. They are real professionals.
So, producer Mark, I think you might have some content coming through from social media, some questions.
Yeah, we have Laurel who just says good morning from Canada, actually.
Hi, Canada.
Laurel is also asking for like the launch tomorrow. Are you talking about AM or PM?
We're talking about PM. So we want to inflate the balloons in the afternoon and then launch the balloon like at around, let's say, 8 o'clock at night.
And then we have another question if there will be a live camera from the launch field. I can answer that directly. Yes, we're going to have a launch camera up. Right now we're talking about a 3 o'clock timeline, just the moment the launch inflation begins, but we'll just get online the moment there's some good action on the field here. And then another question is, will we be able to follow the race on the YB tracking?
Indeed you will.
Yes, there's an app for Android, there's also an app for Apple, and you can also follow it on the website. It is there, it will be great, it will be live as soon as the first balloon is on the podium.
So while we're talking about lives and following the action, let me remind you once again, all the air sports events, all the major sports events now, they're getting hit with bots on social media, with fake friend requests and fake lives. If you get a friend request from anything which says Coupe, Aéronautique, Gordon Bennett, ignore it, delete it, report it. We're not sending out any friend requests. And if it gets a comment in one of our posts from a name that you don't recognize and it's showing you a link to a live, just delete it, comment, report it. Just don't press it and connect with it. There's no other live streams apart from us here on Facebook and YouTube. No others at all. So any which are showing you as a possible link, just completely ignore them. They're not nothing to do with us at all.
And to add, it's completely free. So if somebody asks you to give you the credit card, ignore it. That's the wrong link.
Yeah, indeed it is, right? So the forecast for tomorrow is still looking good?
It's still looking good. I'm convinced we will be inflating. I'm not sure if we will inflate at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. That we will see according to the gusts. But I'm very positive about that we will be launching in the evening around 8, 9 o'clock.
Well, Thomas, listen, thanks very much for your time. I do know your family's just arrived here on site, so you probably going to spend a little bit of time with them.
Yes, my family, my wife Pavla, my sons Jan and Martin just arrived watching here. So I'm going over there and say hello to them.
Oh, thanks, Thomas. It's always a pleasure, my friend. We'll be back with the Eimers with Team Germany 1 in the studio. After this next video, we caught up with Balthasar from Swiss 2. Let's see what he was saying. Balthasar Wiki joins us from Swiss 2. Good afternoon, my friend.
Hi, Regan.
How's it going today? How are you using this time?
Oh, we're just making last preparations. The team is in town, strolling. We are well prepared, so everything is ready.
Yeah.
We are ready to rock and roll tomorrow morning. So everything, food is ready, everything is ready, oxygen. Yeah,
good.
Can't do much. We have our last team calls, obviously. We also look after the Australian team a little bit. We have taken them into our command center also, and trying to coordinate on that stage also. But not much to do right now, so I think it's a good start like that. It's a calming start, and
yes,
it helps to kind of concentrate and focus.
Can we talk a little bit about last year and the issues with power when you're travelling over the Atlantic and getting your suppliers? Can you talk us through a little bit what happened?
Yeah, I mean, in Albuquerque, we had a good start, but then finally, in the morning, it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon of the second day, suddenly made boom in our cockpit. Everything was blank, and we realized that our battery just went bust. And that was my mistake. We didn't have enough redundancy there, so we couldn't restart also the fuel cell. We were out of power. We had about 7 hours left at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we decided to land because and one more night wouldn't have been possible without getting into an illegal state. Not having transponder, not having a radio, and that we didn't want to there. So it was an equipment mistake at the end of the day. We had to buy our batteries locally in the US. They weren't proven, you know, they were new. That isn't happening here anymore. We have our proven equipment, which has been performing during many flights already. So there's much more also reliability and also redundancy now in our system. We have extensively worked on our technical equipment, so I think we're gonna not make the same mistake again. We have now room for new mistakes and experiences.
For novices watching at home who don't know much about gas ballooning, for us it's quite obvious why we need power, but talk a little bit about what your power demands are and why you need power.
I mean, gas balloons are very simple in one way and very complex in another. I think the technical system of every team is a bit different. You know, we have seen different teams with very little technical equipment, and we have a system which is a bit more complex. I mean, it's a matter of what you like, also, you know, preference, and kind of like, you know, it's pleasure also for us, kind of playing around with technology. And but just the mandatory equipment, like, you know, moving Mac display, transponders, radios, illumination, whatever it takes them, you know, mobile phones, that requires quite some power. And now you have to say, where is it coming from? You either can store it and bring it with you in batteries. That's a matter of weight. Even though that has improved now with the modern battery technology. You have solar panels. Solar panels don't work in the night, and the balloons rotate, so you have also to rotate the solar panel. And some teams are using fuel cells, which are a bit more technical, but they operate around the clock. So we have a fuel cell system and the backup solar panel as well, and we manage our power quite actively. Because we also carry some additional instruments. We carry two displays in order to be able to communicate with the headquarters a bit more easily. And yeah, that's it. Every team has its own little secrecies and secrets and its own little habits and preferences.
As we get further into the Gordon Bennett, every year technology improves and the teams find themselves with more availability to keep in touch with us, keep in touch with the media, and keep in touch with the people back home. Is there a possibility we might hear more from you this year?
You're probing, huh?
Probing just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many teams are equipped nowadays with Starlink, for example. I mean, many teams already have Iridium data connections, but the bandwidth is not very big and it's quite expensive. Now we have these smaller antennas coming up from Starlink and soon from Amazon as well, in a year or two to go. And they open really new possibilities for command center communication, but also for communication with Gordon Bennett TV. I think you're going to be seeing much more broadband connections from the baskets even high up in the future. That's beneficial for you and for us.
Yeah, brilliant. Balthasar, as always, a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Regan. Thank you. And all the best.
All the best to you too. So Germany won. They're the reason we are here. Before we get on to this, we're just going to take a quick ad break with our sponsors.
It is not the hours, minutes or seconds that define us, but generations. The watch collection from the Tutemer family. Discover more at tutemer.com.
So the reason we're here in Munster, Germany won. Willi, in German, tell the people why we're here. In German.
Ja, wir in Münster hier, im wunderbaren Schlosspark in Münster, ein ganz historischer Ort. Hier ist zwar nur bisher ein Ballon gestartet, das wollen wir morgen ändern. Morgen wollen wir hier mit fast 30 Ballonen in die Luft gehen, heute Abend schon ein paar Heißlüfter. Also kommt nach Münster, schaut euch die Spektakel an. Wunderbar, Ballonsport live.
And what's happening tonight in German? Tell people to come tonight for the stage.
Ja, Ballonglühen gibt es auch hier. Ihr könnt kommen, Heißluftstart und Ballonglühen heute Abend. Also gestern Abend haben wir schon geglüht. Ein fantastisches Bild, ganz ausgezeichnet, bei allerbesten Münsterwetter.
Get on Ryanair. You probably get a €15 flight tonight. How are we doing, Benny?
Good. Very good. Sure.
Tell us about the win which brought us here a couple of years ago.
The win. Oh, yeah. That was a special win. So it was a nice flight to Bulgaria, to the coast, and it was a 60-hour flight.
Yeah.
With about 1,570 kilometers, I think. So landing just at sunrise was very special, coming in from the sea and land on very high speed. But yeah, it all went fine, and finally we got the win. So
overnight, out over the water, looking down at the coast as the sun's rising. Man, it takes some. What do you say in German? It takes
big nuts.
Yeah.
I don't say in Germany, but yeah. It was the problem was the low cloud layer, the high wind, and so I think that was a reason why many of the teams land before. But finally, we had a very right time when we came in. So it was just that sunlight came up, and so we just could see something down there, the landing field, and was very, very good landing finally.
Here in Munster, what a beautiful location. How did this happen? How did we decide? You could have gone anywhere in Germany, right? So how did you decide to come here?
That you need to ask my brother Sebastian, but maybe you really can say something in German.
Yeah, tell us in German.
So why we are here now and not why we're not in Gladbeck?
Why we are here now? Why not in Gladbeck? Münster ist ein sehr historischer Ort und die Münsteraner ist eine große Ballonsportgruppe, schon seit vielen Jahren. 1930 waren 100.000 Menschen auf dem Lohheider Feld für Gasballone hier. Und Münster hat mit Eimermacher, mit verschiedenen Leuten große Ballonfahrer. Und das war einfach Grund und Anlass für uns, auch den Verein zu unterstützen. Und sie haben ja einen neuen Ballon gekriegt, wie wir gesehen haben. Also, Münster ist schon ganz was Besonderes und wir freuen uns bei strahlendem Wetter hier morgen zu starten.
And the Schloss Castle.
Yeah. Schloss Castle.
Yeah, so what's a nice spot here?
I understood most of that. I must be picking up the language a little bit. I kind of understood what you were saying there, you know? Incredible. So 21 teams. Just before we went on air, Benny said, Regan. I said, what? Who's going to win? I said, well, you are, of course. What else am I going to... How do you feel?
You tell the same answer to every team, I think, yeah. Come on. I will check the show later. I will see. So we just was at our command center in Gladbeck where 15 people was doing some nice work this day, all that work today to see where we can go, what is the weather on our track, and finally... It's not a really surprise, but we will move from north to south, heading into France, maybe into Italy, Greece, or Spain. So
yes.
So it's getting warmer there, much better than here now.
So I wonder if we can get on the road with Gordon Bennett TV. Do you have access to a helicopter?
To a helicopter?
Yeah.
For what?
To take Gordon Bennett TV to follow you and report.
You can come with us in the balloon, in the basket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have a spare seat under our bench.
Bit too much ballast here, no?
Yeah, but we can... You have a parachute with you. You can jump out. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, when we go to Fiesta. So maybe you can come with us.
Hey, maybe. Willie, some more German.
Oh ja, warum wir keinen Hubschrauber haben, der uns verfolgt. Der kann 3 Stunden fliegen. Wir fahren 30 Stunden, 60 Stunden. Da kommt kein Helikopter mit. Und der macht auch viel zu viel Lärm. Wir lieben die Ruhe, die totale Ruhe im Gasballon. Eine absolute Stille bei Nacht. Wir hören jeden Hund bellen, wir hören alles Mögliche. Gerade die Nacht ist besonders schön, besonders toll. Das lieben wir so.
So we got a question on the social media. Somebody said, what happens if you take off and then you touch down somewhere? Can you carry on? No.
Oh, yeah. So in the rules, it's like you need to have a solid contact to the ground and needs to stop, brake.
Yeah.
So if you just hit into a tree for a short second or on the ground for a short second, you can lift off again and fly. No
I didn't realize. I thought the first point of contact was it. No.
No. It's like if you have a tray rope hanging down.
Yeah.
Just to break you down a little bit. It's really the last point where the basket totally breaks and stand in the end, and that's the point. So yeah, you can touch and go, but it makes no sense really.
Yeah,
you know why you should do that?
Why should you do that? Well, that's almost it for tonight's show. Willie, in German, tell everybody locally why they should be here tomorrow night around 5 p.m. Come on.
Tomorrow night.
Yes.
Tomorrow evening. Tomorrow night. And the day is beautiful in the day. And then we hope the wind is not too strong and we can fly.
In German.
Wir können fahren morgen Abend. Und ich hoffe, dass wir Ihnen morgen unsere besten 6 Unterstützer zeigen können. Die werden alle hier stehen für einen kurzen Moment. Bleiben Sie dran. Schauen Sie sich morgen unsere 6 besten Unterstützer an. Die helfen uns zu gewinnen.
We're going to have a show for you tomorrow at 2 p.m. and then we're going to have the live of the inflation. We've got a camera over the field, so we'll leave that running for the live of the inflation, and then we'll be back, of course, for the launch of the 60-second Coupe Aéronautique Gordon Bennett here live in
Munster. Am I saying it right?
Münster.
Schloss. Münster, right.
Munster.
Schlosspark Münster.
Slosh Park, Munster. Tomorrow. Join us, 2 p.m. Munster. Munster.
Bye
Munster.
bye. Bye
They
bye.
keep changing it. They keep saying Munster.
Bye bye. Everything. Okay.